how far are we from actually getting on a train in St. Louis and driving up or sitting in a train and enjoying the nice ride to Chicago on a high-speed train? Mark Kern is with us, St. Clair County Chairman. Mark, good morning. Welcome to Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Hey, McGraw. Hey, Kelly. How are you this morning?
Just fine. How are you?
Good. We're doing great.
First of all, there's a meeting. We'll get to the meeting in a second, but where are we on this? Is it still a pipe dream, or how far are we from putting a shovel into a ground with all this stuff?
Well, the shovel's been in the ground for quite some time. So between Alton and Chicago, they are getting real close to completing making all the track right. Brand new track all the way up, double tracked all the way to Chicago, and solving a lot of the slowdowns that existed from Kankakee to Chicago. A lot of that work's done. So you already are seeing increased speeds along the Amtrak route to Chicago.
All right, and then so what's this meeting about coming up?
So the meeting took place last night, and what's happening is now they're finishing up between Alton and Chicago. So they're looking to find out what they're going to do between Alton and St. Louis. So what we're proposing is that we believe that there is a station in Alton. We want to have a station in St. Clair County in East St. Louis. Because we believe we can add a lot of ridership to the train, and while we're not asking for another stop, we're asking for a station. So what we would ask is that where 8 trains a day would stop in Alton with high-speed rail, 4 would stop in Alton, 4 would stop in East St. Louis, and we think it makes ultimate sense to tie light rail, which exists in East St. Louis and which exists very close to the high-speed tracks. We could almost have a dual station situation where you could get off one train, get on the other. Connections to Scott Air Force Base, the 270,000 residents of St. Clair County, and hundreds turned out last night. It was standing room only at the Jackie Joyner Kersey Center to express their support for an East St. Louis station.
All right, so who makes that decision? Do the feds make it? Do you make it? Do the people in Chicago make it? Does Amtrak make it? Who makes that call?
Well, we made our appeal to IDOT, to Illinois Department of Transportation. We believe they're the ones that are going to be making the decision, and so we laid out the facts for them. And what this basically is, they're just doing their environmental impact study right now. So they will be looking at all the points of ridership numbers and feasibility studies. Which bridge they're going to use. There are 2 bridges, the Merchants Bridge route and the MacArthur Bridge route. They'll be taking a look at both of those structures. And frankly, both of those bridges are very old. The Merchants Bridge, I think, is about 140 years old. So we've got some aging infrastructure here in the St. Louis region, and this allows us to also put a close eye on that and see where maybe we can make improvements in the future.
Mark Kern, how far are we from getting on a train in, let's say, Alton and going to a Cubs-Cards game in Chicago on a high-speed rail, and how long will that take?
I don't have those exact numbers, but I think the goal is to be about 4 hours from St. Louis to Chicago, and there's 2 ranges of high speed. This is kind of mid-range speed that we're on. A true high-speed rail will be far faster, but it also is going to require a lot more improvement in the future and a lot more infrastructure.
It sounds expensive, though. How much are we talking here?
Well, I think the state of Illinois has spent about $400 million in this project, and the federal government with the stimulus package, I think, put in well over $1 billion, if not $1.5 billion into this project. But what happens is this isn't just benefiting high-speed rail. This replaced all the rail between Alton and Chicago. St. Louis is the second largest rail hub in the United States, Chicago being the number 1 rail hub. So that kind of infrastructure creates a lot of jobs and opportunity. Railroads are a big employer here in St. Clair County. We've got many rail yards, and a lot of people put food on the table at night because we've got many Class 1 railroads here in St. Clair County. So any help we can be to the railroads and transportation infrastructure is money well spent.
The 110-mile-an-hour mid-range high speed, you've laid new track. Do you have to lay different track to go to the ultra high speed, or can you use now this existing track?
I think they can use this existing track. I think, and I'm not an engineer, but my impression is that they're building the track for the future. I don't know if the route may change a little bit with true high speed, and that's the other issue. So now they're determining how to get to St. Louis. When you go across the Merchants Bridge, you've got 15 grade crossings, which really slows down your trip quite a bit. When you come across MacArthur Bridge, there's only 2 grade crossings. So that's why we believe East St. Louis Station makes sense, because you're using the fastest route to St. Louis. And then, of course, McGraw, you got to ask the question: what's Missouri doing about high speed from St. Louis to Kansas City?
Right.
It's great to take high speed and to stop in St. Louis, but we got to ask the question of.
Well, they're not doing much, are they?
I don't know. I haven't heard too much.
Yeah,
but,
no, I don't
you're
think...
on the inside track, man. You got it all.
Well, there's no question I am, and I haven't heard much. But the rocket scientists down in Jefferson City, they're too busy, taking away all of our freedom, so we don't know what they're doing.
Wow.
What about Union Station? I know they're redoing Union Station. Can this high-speed train start at Union Station and go up to Kansas or go to Chicago?
The stop for Amtrak is underneath the highway there, close to Savas.
Right.
So at that Amtrak station.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they're intending the
trains to
jumping
go
off point to
Gotcha. Mark Kern, we have to leave it there. You're welcome back anytime. St. Clair County Chairman Mark Kern on that high-speed rail from East St. Louis to Chicago. Mark, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks, Kelly.
St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Tim